Long gone are the days of being upset about something politically and people telling you to go outside and touch some grass. It's like, no, thank you. Actually, I think I'll be staying inside from now on. Outside is where you are. So it's like, no, thank you. Actually, I told my friend his shorts were gay in 2010. And there were 6 witnesses. And I don't want to be stabbed to death by one of them on a bus in a year's time. Even if you do want to ejaculate to the CCTV. Sorry. You people are fucking weird. You murdered Charlie Kirk in cold blood in front of his wife and his kids. And now you say he was unalived so as to appropriately sanitize the crime for your communist algorithmic overlords. Why don't you just say he was permanently deoxygenated so it doesn't affect your CPM? And you're the good guys here. Remember that. You're the good guys. If Patrick Bateman bumped into you in a dark laneway, he'd run the other way. Student union bars are already running Tyler Robinson lookalike competitions. You want to know what the slogan is? Tyler shot a neck, so if you win, you can neck a shot. And people are taking part. Betting companies taking odds on who's next on your celebrity hit list. 3-1, Joey Barton hung, drawn and quartered for not liking women's football. 6-1, Enoch Burkshead placed on a pike outside of St. Wilson's Hospital because he misgendered some fucking emo. 9-1, Michaela Peterson sprinkles cyanide on Jordan Peterson's raw steak just because he told her to clean her room and double your money if the world parties like it's 1999. That's fucking parenting. What would the odds be of Jordan Peterson crying when he heard the news about Charlie Kirk? I mean, 1 billion to 1 billion. I mean, bookies wouldn't even take that. The only way they would get out of paying that bet is if he happened to be crying about something else the moment he heard the news. Then they'd say, well, we don't know what he was crying about. He cries about a lot of stuff. Charlie Kirk was pro-gun, and a gun killed him. It's ironic. He was also anti-abortion and got aborted. That's not a victory for you. That's a draw. Okay? Here's what you have. You have on one side people basically establishing a new sect of Christianity in his honor. You know, the most recent abomination to emerge from King Henry VIII's Reformation. And you think, fair enough, Protestantism is already in hell, may as well go lower. On the other hand, you basically have people selling vials of his blood for profit on eBay. You know, and I know you think that's okay because the media told you he was a Nazi, but I would remind you that he did have the same political views as your granddad. And your granddad brought you to the shop, you know. He brought you to the shop. He bought you sweets when he was dying of cancer. And if the media told you to dig up his body and shit in his mouth, you'd be queuing up in B&Q by lunchtime to buy a shovel. You know, that's just who you are. You're basically an entirely programmable murder machine. You have no idea that there's a difference between obedience and virtue. And it's not just the radicals. It's like the old Facebook ladies too. I put a message into the family WhatsApp earlier. Condolences, Charlie Kirk, tragedy. You want to know what my grandmother said? She said, chat shit, get banged, skull emoji, gun emoji, laughing on the floor emoji. So it's basically Lord of the Flies. Let's watch some Bob Vylan.
I want to dedicate this next one to an absolute piece of shit of a human being. The pronouns was, were. Because if you chat shit, you will get banned. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk, you piece of shit. Oh shit.
I mean, first of all, Bob Vylan is like the biggest shit talker in the UK. Like, he shouldn't be encouraging political violence on shit talking grounds. I heard you want your country back. Uh-huh. You can't have that. I heard you want your country back. Uh-uh. Shut the fuck up. Etc. You know, so it's like, come on. So then everybody complains to his HR department or whatever, and he comes out with this fucking video.
Yo, real quick. At no point during yesterday's show was Charlie Kirk's death celebrated. At no point whatsoever did we celebrate Charlie Kirk's death. I did call him a piece of shit. That much is true. But at no point was his death celebrated. If it was, go find me a quote, go find me something that proves that we were celebrating his death. You're not going to find it because it didn't happen. What did happen is one reporter that bought their ticket online came with the sole purpose of finding something to report, and after I called him a piece of shit and we played a song, they have written that up as a celebration. Not a celebration, isn't a celebration, wasn't a celebration. Calm down.
Oh, okay. Sorry, he's not celebrating. Even though he's jumping for joy. Literally. Running around like he's warming up for an under-12 schoolboy football match. And that's like the amazing thing about leftism is reality can be whatever you want it to be to suit your short-term ends. It's like those people who want to solve world poverty by printing more money. It's just like, yeah, why not, you know? Her.ie are controversially gifting 10 lucky ladies vouchers to long-distance shooting ranges for Valentine's Day. And I think Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins emerged with maybe the worst take of the entire debacle. Now, I like Billy Corgan, so for these purposes, I'm going to take a leaf out of Bob Vylan's book and just pretend it's Bill Burr. So Bill Burr was on Bill Maher, and he came out with this stupid shit.
But there is something about having somebody who was sitting right there, and you just got to know as a human being. And then, I mean, death in itself is just a weird thing.
What's weird, and I don't mean this in any other way than the way I mean it. What's weird is we get fixated on how somebody dies. Like, would it have been better if he got hit by a bus? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, death is death, and that's the sorrow of it.
Actually, it would have been better.
It's like, oh yeah, Bill, death is death. A little girl being beheaded by ISIS is the exact same thing as an old lady dying peacefully in her sleep surrounded by loved ones. Stephen King lied about Charlie Kirk. He said that Charlie Kirk said that gays should be stoned. Charlie Kirk was anti-weed. And so Stephen King has had to apologise. But in his apology, he plugged his new film, which has since flopped as hard as Charlie did when the bullet hit. No offence. And it's not the first time I've caught Stephen King lying. I read his book. It's called On Writing. And it's basically about like how to write. And in the foreword, he did that Barack Obama move that I just hate. I think Obama invented this. And it's that thing where like a great man will say, without my wife that you've never heard of and who is totally irrelevant, I'd be nowhere. Steve, you wrote Carrie, you fuck. Steve, you conceived of it inside your own brain and shared it with the world. You're the most notable horror writer of the 20th century. Can you please just drop the bullshit for 2 seconds? The Green Mile, Shawshank Redemption. Like, Steve, just because you want your wife to spread her legs doesn't mean you're entitled to spread misinformation. Okay? And guys like that who always say the right thing, you can never trust them. Seriously. Charlie Kirk had that old school Christian virility that only comes from no fap. Stephen King, he's just horny. He'll say anything. If Stephen King saw an assassin on a grassy knoll and he was with his wife, he'd request a gender quota to ensure parity. That's the type of guy he is. That's the modern man. You know? And by the way, all these free speech absolutists, I need to tell you, are absolutely getting liberals fired from their jobs for their hurty words.
I don't think that the people celebrating Charlie's death should be banned by the government from saying those things. But I do think it's good that these people lose their jobs. It's good that they are shamed and humiliated and must live with the repercussions for the rest of their lives. It's good if they wake up every day until they die wishing they had not said what they said. That's what I want. I want them to wake up every single day and the first thing they think is, my God, I wish I hadn't said that. It took my entire life off the rails. Everything has changed for the worse.
These guys are meant to be Christians. Can you believe that? Jesus said, forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. He didn't say, ring up Taco Bell, Father, and get these minimum wage teenagers blacklisted for life. And check out these kids.
I have the best news ever.
What? Donald Trump died?
Second best news.
The vice president died?
Okay, third best news.
That Elon Musk died?
Okay, no.
Do you remember in The Simpsons where Santa's little helper was being brainwashed by Mr. Burns into being evil? Ooh, sick. That's what the mam's doing here. And the dad, just some useless schlub, just standing by, letting it happen, obviously. I'm done with humanity. There's basically two kinds. It's like it's vicious freaks or it's scared bystanders. And they're both buckling under the weight of the collective shame. And they cope with this weight by celebrating more, by doubling down, basically, by making Charlie Kirk out to be worse than he was. Charlie Kirk had the political views of your uncle, basically. And you know, most of you only have the decency to show up to Thanksgiving dinner with an AK-47. Why not? Why not? I don't know. Real tough online, but pretty weak in real life. You'll call for heads on plates, but if the wrong head comes to the table, you won't have the confidence to send it back. It's like pathetic. And you people are fucked in the afterlife, by the way. There's no bad guy diversity quota in heaven. Yeah, it's good people only. Segregation is alive and well in the kingdom of our Lord, and hallelujah for that. So, thanks for watching News of the Week. Bye.